You know what's interesting about the Defender? It doesn't really start like a normal car story. There's no big design team, no billion-dollar plan, nothing like that. Actually, it started with a farmer using an old war vehicle and thinking, why Britain doesn't have something like this? And then instead of going back to an office, he literally draws the idea in the sand. And this turns out into one of the most recognizable cars ever made. And the crazy part is, it was never meant to be special. It was just supposed to be temporary. But somehow, the temporary idea ended up lasting for over 70 years. So in 1947, Maurice Wilkes is working for a Rover company. He's driving around his farm using a Willys Jeep. And he realizes this thing is perfect for rough land, but there's no British version of it. So he sketches a basic idea for his brother. And if you actually look at the early Defenders, they still kind of look like that sketch. Very boxy, very simple, no unnecessary designs. And the goal wasn't even to create a legendary car. It was literally just to keep the company alive from the war. And I think that's what makes it interesting, because nothing about this was overthought. When the first Land Rover Series 1 came out, people didn't even treat it like a car. It was more like an equipment. Farmers used it daily, military trusted it, explorers took it to places where roads didn't even exist. And what's interesting is, it didn't even need to be comfortable. No one cared about the screens or leather seats. It just needed to work, and it did it. Then came the Land Rover Series 2 and the Series 3. Slight improvement, but same mindset. Keep it simple, fix it anyway, keep it moving. That's why people started trusting it. But eventually the world changed. By the 80s, people still wanted capability, but now they also wanted some comfort. So in 1983, Land Rover made a big move. They switched to coil springs, taking inspiration from the Range Rover. And honestly, this is where the Defender started becoming a daily. It was not just a farm tool anymore. And they named it 90 and 110. Which is kind of funny because they didn't even try to make it sound exciting, just straight to the point. Then comes 1990. They launched the Land Rover Discovery. And now Land Rover had multiple cars, so they finally give it a proper name. The Defender. I think this is one of those rare cases where the name actually matches the car perfectly. Because then, the car had already proven itself. In deserts, in jungles, in mountains, it didn't matter. Then the engines. He had 300 TDI, which a lot of people still say is the best one ever made. Not because it's fast, but because it just kept going. Then the TD5, which started introducing electronics. And this is where opinions started splitting. Some people liked it. Other people said it lost a bit of that raw feeling. Then later in the Ford era, they introduced newer engines and more modern interior. But no matter what, it still felt like a Defender. And I think that's the key thing here. But here's the reality. By 2010, the Defender was struggling to keep up. Not in terms of capability, but regulations, safety, emission, all of that. And the design was just too old to adapt. So in 2016, they stopped production. And for a lot of people, that felt like the end of something real. And then in 2020, it came back. But this is where things get interesting. Because this isn't just an updated version. It's completely different, built by Jaguar Land Rover on a new platform. No more old school chassis. This one is fully modern. And I'll be honest, this is where people are divided. Because the new one is better in almost every measurable way. More comfortable, more capable in situations, and way more advanced. But it doesn't feel the same. old Defender, you could fix it yourself. Basic tools, no problem. The new one, spec with tech, screens, cameras, software updates. It can literally update itself overnight. And that's not a bad thing, it's just different. It's gone from something very mechanical to something very digital. Overall, I think what makes the Defender interesting today is that it's not about what it is now, it's about what it used to be. Because when you look at the new one, you can still see parts of the original idea, just done in a completely different way. And whether you prefer the old one or the new one kind of depends on what you value more, simplicity or progress. So guys, if you like stories like this, please don't forget to subscribe so I can keep on making videos like this.